Hi guys, welcome back. Let's speak Baddies USA episode 9. So this is my favorite episode so far because I feel like the bullies got served. If you know me, you know I don't like bullies and I don't like people that antagonize people. And I feel like that has been happening a lot in this season. A lot of the cast, they're acting out of character, like they got a point to prove and like they want camera time. So let's speak about it. I'm going to start with the sit down between Gretch and Smiley. Unpopular opinion, I like Gretch. I feel like she stands on business, she doesn't duck any fade, and she's not scared of them. Do you know what I mean? There's things that she's done that I don't agree with. There's things she says, even i.e. when I think she bit Jayla's skin. Like, there's never going to be somebody, we're not going to agree with everything everyone does. Do you know what I mean? But I like her. And equally, I like Suki. I feel like Suki, she's funny. Like, she cracks me up every time when I see the confessionals. It's just like she adds spice to the show, her personality. Do you know what I mean? And I like her previously from Baddies Caribbean when I think it was Smiley that was getting bullied. Someone was getting bullied. She stood up for them and expressed that she don't like bullying. So she kind of earned my respect from that. Now, their whole beef, their whole drama, as I said in the previous video, episode 8, I feel like it was unnecessary. But when liquor, alcohol is involved, things can escalate. Like, they didn't need to fight, but maybe, I don't know. I understand where Suki's coming from when she says she doesn't like to be called out of her name. She don't want nobody calling her a bitch when, they're not her friend, homegirl, nothing. It's just like, who are you? It's disrespectful. It's like that word is a fighting word. So there's that. They fight at the end. We'll get to that later. Moving on to the bus now. Rolly, in the confessional, she's like, she likes the baddies bus because it's like that's where the tea is spilled. And it's just so ironic because in the next scene, you see all the baddies getting on the bus, then they start fighting. So I feel like that was good editing and good timing. Now, the whole fight between Fana and Nunu, I can't stand Fana. You guys know this already. I cannot stand her. Like, I don't know I can't. It's just, even when she was fighting Nunu, I was so confused. I was thinking, who is that fighting Nunu? Like, is it Cold Killer, Fana? I didn't know who it was because if you guys like remember and look back, straight after Fana was fighting Nunu, Cold Killer started to get involved and she was going to grab something from the side. And it's just, I hate all situations like that. Why does both of them need to be rowdy and hyped up? Like, let your friend deal with that. If it's Fana's beef or whatever, the weather, I don't even care what was said about Cold Killer. I just feel like these girls, they feel like they're too important. Nunu has a problem with Rican. Rican isn't on the show. Nunu said that she's not going to speak about Rican to begin with. Then she brought up Rican. Oh, well, she's a grown-ass woman. As I said in my previous review, I've only done one review, like, about episode 8. That's just what it is, innit? Fana fighting Nunu, making a whole problem, sneaking Nunu. She's just chasing camera time. She wants a moment. And it's just annoying because when Summer and the big three and that was starting on Fana and whatever, I kind of not felt sorry for her, but I understood why. I understood that the big three were the aggressors. But moving on, Cold Killer, don't really like her neither, to be fair. She's growing on me over time, yes, but certain situations, it's just like, be quiet. So they've had their fight. And then who else was arguing on the bus? Tavy, she is just like, please go and find something to do because she's just looking for problems from Lex. Like, Lex has been handling things with grace. She's changed. She's done the full 360. We see how Lex used to be. I like Lex. And there's times where I don't agree with what she does, just like when she's telling Summer to shut. I'm sure she said, like, shut the F up or something like that. Or she was just rude. And it's just like, if I was Summer, no, my friend can't talk to me like that, respectfully. If you say certain things, then that's just it's not happening. So I don't agree with the way Lex speaks to Summer sometimes. I understand Summer can just chat off and be annoying, but it's just like, there's a time and place. And if that's your friend, you shouldn't be talking to your friend like that. If it's your enemy, then that's different. But the whole situation with Tavy, she's got a point to prove. And when they've mentioned their age on the show, I'm thinking, raw, like, big age difference like that. You're a big, old, sour woman. Obviously, for being in your 30s is not old, but she's older compared to Lex, so she should be acting different. Do you know what I mean? And in the past, she's been beaten up multiple times. Like Lex keeps beating you up, and it's like you're proud of that because you stand your ground and you're not scared of Lex or whatever you want to say. You're proud and you're acting big and boasty because you keep getting beaten up. Wow, that's an achievement. You should be so proud to keep fighting Lex and getting beaten up. Like, I don't know what's wrong with people in this day and age, but clout is definitely a drug. Anyways, they're going back and forth. Lex is asking her to move. She's not moving. She's in Lex's personal space. And then that situation's happened. I can't even remember the full details of that whole argument, but that happened. I think that was the second thing that happened. Then I remember they came off the bus and then they was fighting later on in the day. Gretch, Sapphire. Gretch has walked in the room. She's going to square up with Suki. Sapphire's getting involved. Sapphire, sit down, please. Sit down. There's a time and place we need to step up for our friends, but we really know Sapphire's not like that. Look at Baddies Caribbean. So I just feel like it's selective energy because she weren't like that. She was snaky towards Suki before. So it's just like, why are you, once again, a point to prove? You want to prove that you can be a good friend, that you know how to be loyal, whatever. I still feel like it's selective. I feel like Sapphire is very smart because if someone like Tasiki was to fight Suki, Sapphire wouldn't act like that. So I feel like it's all selective. And then the fight that happened with Gretch, her neck got sliced, whatever. I don't know. We may get to the bottom of that in the next episode. Possibly, maybe somebody sliced her. Maybe it was Sapphire's rings. Who knows? I don't know. So I can't comment on that. But that was a bit crazy and unfair. And Gretch, she still got in the field again with Suki, even with the bandage around her neck. So, and it looked like Suki was losing respectfully. So, yeah, this is why you have to respect Gretch. But speaking about the whole narrative, like Gretch saying the N-word, Tinker said something at the end of the episode, yeah, which stood out to me and is very true and makes a lot of sense. She was just like, if you guys are offended by Gretch saying the N-word, then you should be offended by Anna and Mariah Lynn and other cast members that are not black saying the N-word. And it's very true. Like, I don't like when there's a rule for one and it's not fair. If you want to make rules and you're getting offended by this person Gretch saying the N-word, then it should be like that with everybody. Anna shouldn't be allowed to walk around and say what she wants. And Mariah Lynn shouldn't be because they're not black. Do you know what I mean? So I definitely feel like the whole storyline of Gretch saying the N-word has been dragged out. I understand that people can say things. People have the rights to be offended at whatever they want. If someone says something you don't like it and you're offended, fair enough. But you should be offended by if the other, like your friend is a different color, is not black and she's saying it. It should just be one rule for all, as I just said. But I just feel like it's just been dragged out. Do you know what I mean? It's like a reason for cast members to switch up and say that they have a problem with Gretch, which is just annoying. What else happened? The fight with Nunu and Cold Killer. Yeah, Nunu ate that for sure, and Cold Killer deserved it because I was just so happy. I was happy to see how the fight between Nunu and Cold Killer ended up and the fight between Tavy and Lex ended up because Lex just wanted to have a conversation. Even if she did want to fight, who knows her true intentions, but it's just like, who knows Lex's true intentions, but it's just like, Tavy hit Lex first, and then she's ended up being licked down on the concrete. She's just so embarrassing, man. She was looking for a problem with Lex for the whole episode, and you mean to tell me that you've got beaten up like that, or just licked down to the point where she basically called that on herself because you've gone to go and hit Lex first, and it didn't end up well for you, and now you're hurt, whether it's from the licks that Lex was putting onto you or from you falling on the concrete. So I just feel like there's so many things that happen, but the bullies got served, and I'm happy with that. Amazing, fantastic. And I hope it happens all throughout the episode. I hope we see that, because I don't like bullies. Okay, let's talk the age difference between Lex and Tavy. Lex is 23 or 24, and then Tavy is about a decade older than her. Let's say 36 or something like that. And it was a conversation on the episode, and Lex was just basically saying, well, if you're older than me, act like it. And I agree with Lex. Do you know what I mean? If you want to bring age into it and you're older, act better. Act like it, at your age. And even just hearing that, it's very relatable to me, because I understand how it feels to have older women pressed. You're like 10 to 15 years older than me, sometimes even older, and you're so pressed about me, and you're looking for a problem with me. It's just, it's bizarre. So I definitely feel like with Tavy, she is pressed about Lex 100%. She just can't let it go. She keeps bringing it up. As I said before, we've seen a full 360 with Lex's, how she acts. She even sat down with Jayla and squashed it, even Scotty and squashed it. She's just not on that. She's on a different vibe. She's acting more ladylike in this episode. And that's just that. Sometimes people, they get fed up. They don't want to fight anymore. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. Or they try and navigate away from the problems rather than indulging in the problems. So we have to give Lex her flowers. Do you know what I mean? It's not the hardest thing is to walk away. It's not easy to walk away. The hardest thing is always doing the right thing is always going to be the hardest thing. So that's just that. And yeah, I just don't know what I understand on the previous seasons with Tavy. She was like a fan favorite. A lot of the fans was rating her, whatever, because she was sticking up for herself. Do you know what I mean? And that's understandable. And I did like her before, but she just keeps going on and looking for problems. And I just, what did they say? Show off, bring disgrace. And that's exactly what happened. Look at the end. Just a whole mess. She couldn't even go for round 2. You're going to hit Lex first. She's beating you up. And then look, you've ended up down there on the floor. How much times are you going to get beaten up and have bruises and scars and knots on your head? And then now you probably got a broke back. But anyways, that's it now. That's my thoughts. I'm thinking if there's anything else. When it comes to the meetings in the house and stuff, we all know that house meetings, we all know that fighting's going to happen. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I haven't really been up to date with all of this. I've been watching YouTube and more social media now, but I am trying to stay watching it. I know episode 10 is out, so I may watch that tomorrow and give a review on that. But I don't know, man. With Baddies, hopefully we see something different soon. Not all the time fighting and negativity. Hopefully we see more positivity, harmony, them getting along, just focusing on making money. That would be nice. But I doubt it, because it's Baddies, I guess. And yeah, that's that. What do you guys think about this episode? Let me know. Comment below. Please subscribe, like, and share. Bye.